So after installing and using the Eonon GA8150A double DIN head unit for the BMW e46, I've used it for about 2 or 3 weeks now after I installed it, and here is my honest review and some features of how things work on the actual radio. To start off, I want to say after installing the radio, I noticed that there was a lot of static when using the radio. So people have also been commenting on my install video saying, hey, I have the same issue. How I remedied this is I actually I unplugged the blue lead. There's 2 blue leads for the antenna that have 2 metal connectors. I actually unplugged those and the static just seemed to go away. It's still crystal clear. The radio is crystal clear and everything else works. So let's get into the review. So to start off, I'll turn the unit on and show you guys what it looks like. To start off, it has octa-core processor, 2 gigs of RAM. It's running Android 7.1. It has 32 gigabytes of storage. It has CD player, plays CDs, DVDs. It does support GPS. You don't need to put a GPS card in here. It has built-in GPS, but you can add more maps. It has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. It supports additional SD slot, and it has built-in microphone and an external microphone depending on what you want. So let's turn this thing on so you guys can see what it looks like. So you see it starts up with the BMW logo, which is really cool. And then it goes to the Eonon logo. Boot time on this, it's okay. It's not the best. There are some things you can do to speed it up, so I haven't really played with that yet, but for me, the boot time doesn't really bother me too much because by the time I start up my car, let it warm up and take off, it's usually good to go. So you see Android is starting. It says this every time. And then the last thing I used was Bluetooth, so we'll get out of this. So here's the home screen. I'll show you some of the buttons. You have your home mode, which can switch between your navigation, your music, video, phone, aux, disc, radio. So then let me get out of that, brings me to the radio. So the next thing, you have mute button. You have your navigation button, power and volume, USB to plug in a device if you want, eject button for your CD or DVD, disc to see what's in there, band for your AM, FM, back button, and your tuner button. So the next thing, let's jump into the radio. So here's the radio. It has many different options. It has 54 pre-built-in like settings for how many you want down here. They're all here, and you can just swipe and have them all up, and you can have multiple ones. It has AM, FM. It doesn't have HD radio or Sirius, but it just does AM or FM, but that's okay because you have Bluetooth. It does say what's playing. So as I mentioned, this does support GPS. It has a built-in GPS antenna, and if you press the Navi button or Google Maps, doesn't matter. I'm actually using Google Maps. You can use many different maps on here of where you want to go for what you for navigation. So you can use Waze, you can use all sorts of stuff, but I use Google Maps. Works really well. I really enjoy it. It's very quick. It can get, if you have it hooked up to your phone through Wi-Fi, you can get live traffic data and stuff like that. So that's what I tend to use, so I just know traffic, but there's other options to use. This is just one of them. There are some standalone apps that don't even need be connected to the internet. It all has it fully stored. Google Maps, you can download partial maps, but for the most part, you need to be online. So I'm now going to show you the Bluetooth functionality on the Eonon radio. So if you click on, it has a widget right here that's all customizable, but I'm going to just click on the Bluetooth, and you can see the song that's playing. I click play, and it plays. I can click the next button. It goes next. So it's pretty nice. And then I can also use my steering wheel controls. So if you look over here, steering wheel controls, next song, and everything works. Steering wheel controls, turns it down, I'm not touching it. It's a really nice feature having the integrated steering wheel controls. If you press the talk button, you can actually answer the phone or make like a voice dial to who you're calling. So it's pretty neat feature, and it works really well out of the box. No extra additional wiring. You can customize it though. However, if you want to customize how the steering wheel buttons work, all right here is you can customize what the steering wheel buttons do, which is pretty neat if you ever wanted to change them. I leave them how it came because it works great. So one of the coolest features I want to show you guys and how to use, and I really love it for this device, makes using it awesome, is the split screen functionality where it can have an app here and an app here. So let me show you how that works. So if I go here, if you click this little button, and if I want to have Bluetooth up, I hold it and then I drag it over here, and then if I want to have maps up, so now I have maps here and I have Bluetooth right here, so I can place a call and have my maps going at the same time, and they both work together. It's really neat feature. A lot of OEM cars don't even have this feature where you can have your maps up and have your telephone up, so you can be on the phone, well, know who you're dialing or know who's calling, and have the navigation up, or your radio controls if you want to change the song. One of the features that really gives this Eonon head unit a really unique thing to do, it has screen mirroring it, so you can mirror your Android or iPhone's screen right on here. So let me show you. So you open up Easy Connect, I open up the phone, there you go, the iPhone is connected and you can watch YouTube videos, you can listen to music, you can do whatever you want in it, and if you put it landscape mode, obviously it goes into landscape mode. But it's not touchscreen. That's the only thing that like stinks. If I touch on it, it does nothing. It literally just mirrors it. Everything has to be controlled on the phone, but it still works. So it's a really cool feature. That's one of the last main features I wanted to talk about. Some of the other things I really want to talk about is the screen resolution. This has a very nice screen resolution. It is extremely bright, and at night, I don't know if you can see, you probably will not be able to see, but actually you can see. You can kind of see right there and some other spots. All these keys are orange to match the internal lights of your BMW. And it's really cool. It makes it have that OEM look. You can even see the lines right here line up with the design of the actual car. And even when I don't have a backup camera, but when I put the car in reverse, it supports a backup camera automatically. If you look down here, so if you see car is in neutral, and again, if you have an automatic, if you put it in reverse, so if I put it in reverse, that's reverse, comes on, and if you had an automatic and you put it in reverse, it does the same thing. When you pop out of reverse, it shuts off. So those are really the biggest features that make this Eonon head unit one of the best buys, I think, for your money. If you're looking for an aftermarket head unit and you're sick of your old OEM head unit or sick of your old OEM navigation system from BMW. Some of the other features I just want to talk about is the built-in EQ. So it has I want to say I'm not sure how many bands, but it has a lot of different EQ functions you can play with, different presets, classical, rock, news, and they really work. They really help. I leave it on about like pop, and then you can turn on loudness, which makes it louder. You have independent control of your subwoofer for the two subwoofers if you have a Harman Kardon system. And I should say that this system works with Harman Kardon system or the regular system. I have the upgraded Harman Kardon system. You can pick the fader of where you want it and you can balance it in the middle. That's always an awesome feature. That's really it. There's one more feature that I really wanted to talk about that makes this, and then I'll talk about some of the things that could be improved. So the last thing I wanted to show you guys was torque. So I don't actually have an OBD2 reader, but it has torque and it can support a Bluetooth USB OBD2 reader. So if I have it plugged in, I can check my acceleration, I can check all sorts of things about the car, I can check the fault codes. Again, I don't have one, so I don't have anything plugged in, but I just wanted to mention that it has all these different things. You can have graphing of how much torque your car is making, RPM, speed, all sorts of different things that you can do on this radio that will make a chart of actually starting to log your car from 0 to 60, all sorts of different things like that. It's if you have like more of an M3 or some sort of performance that you want to do with this car, it's a really great feature to have. You can leave it up while you're driving and it looks cool. But on to some of the things that could be improved with this. Well, this is an awesome radio and I highly recommend it for anyone that's looking for an upgrade over their old radio. Some of the things that I wish were a little better, and I don't know if it's just my car, or there's things in it. But if I just have my car up all the way, oops, if I have the car up all the way with no signal, sometimes it makes a hissing sound. And you can't hear it because I do have, I don't have anything on the input. But if you leave it on Bluetooth and have nothing connect to it on the other end of the Bluetooth, sometimes it just, I can't show you right now. It's not because I have stuff connected, but there is a small hissing sound that is sometimes noticeable. Sometimes it's not there depending on your input. And again, that could just be my car. It might not be the actual head unit. And then the next thing, the only other gripe I have about this radio, or the things that could be improved, is where the buttons are for some of the things. They're kind of hard to hit while you're driving. They're up in these little corners, and I have pretty big fingers, so it's kind of hard for me to hit all these different things. But other than that, it's an awesome radio. I highly recommend it to go out and buy it. I'll drop a link to this one in the description. There is actually a newer one running. This one's running Android 7.1. There's a newer one running Android 8.1 Oreo. It's supposed to be faster, probably a little better, but again, same layout, similar features. If you want to pick this one up, you can probably save a lot of money because this is the older version over the newer one. But other than that, I couldn't recommend a better radio. I really recommend getting a Eonon radio if you're looking for an upgrade. It has every single feature you could want and more. If you guys have any questions about it, please drop them in the comments. I read every single comment, and I will get back to you with in it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.